Hello everyone. Hi, Nick the Gaming Otter here to have a very special video. Um, Now I'm going to preface this with a disclaimer. Please do not go and say anything about anything hateful into the people that I'm discussing. I'm only giving my criticism, my fair, non-biased, objective criticism. And I'm going to say it like that because this is how this platform should work. I think people really go in very passionately and they sometimes let their passion kind of not always say what should be said. And so I want to say what should be said, and I still have my passion, but I have it with a filter because I'm trying to say things in a very earnest way that's not hurtful. So all right, so let's get into it, right? So there was a interesting video that I saw on YouTube, and it was actually a tweet of a video, and it was by it was by a person by the name of Stuttering Craig. Now, if you don't know who Stuttering Craig is, he was a part of Screw Attack in the early 2010s. Basically, they had a big thing of Europe Dork League with Screw Attack versus Dorkly, and huge internet nerds clash thing. And Stuttering Craig is again a part of, or I believe was a part of, Screw Attack. Don't ask me all the specifics. I don't know all the answers. But all I know is that he was a part of Screw Attack. Whether he's still or not now, I don't know. So let's get into it. So there is a content creator by the name of iJustine. Now, iJustine is a very perky, beautiful woman, beautiful blonde hair. Basically, the societal stereotype cliche of beauty and excellence, very conventional beauty. And she's very lively, she's very fun. She's like, I want to get up and dance, and I want to do this. Like, think about someone that goes around the streets smiling and trying to promote positivity to make people feel happy. Now, here's where we get into the situation. So I'll give you the situation and I'll go down my 2 cents and everything. So I'll try to sum her up the best way I can possible. So hold on. We gotta switch scenes here. I gotta see which scene just okay, I got it. See, even with my years of experience, I still have to so we might have a little bit of flub here. So here we go. So I'll move this out of the way. So this is Access Media and Toxic Positivity all rolled into one. So I'll summarize it so iJustine doesn't have to for us. So basically what iJustine says is she just played the new Mario Kart World game on the Switch, look at that screen, by June 5th. But maybe we should just let her say it for herself, right? So we're going to let her speak for herself because she deserves to be heard.
On. Check it out. I just got a chance to play the new Mario Kart World and it was so much fun. But take a closer look at the Nintendo Switch 2 with the display on. Huge screen. So fun, so crisp, so clean. Oh, it's beautiful. I cannot wait for June 5th.
Okay, now objectively, is that technically a bad? Is that bad? So I know what some of you are thinking. Well, what's the problem with that? And technically speaking, on the surface, nothing really. I mean, now we'll get into Craig's tweet, so I'll tell you what I think. But personally, like, if she just wanted to do that as the intro, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, technically speaking, objectively. But if you're asking me, if I watched that, I'd just be like, there's just something about it. And I actually do vibe with Craig's perspective. I'm not saying that he's 1,000% right. I just see what Craig's perspective is. Craig's perspective is she just is focusing on it from a very techie, buy this product kind of perspective. Because all she's saying is, this is the game, this is the system, by June 5th. You don't really know much more than that. And so, now whether or not it makes you want to watch more, that really depends on your own personal taste. Now, she's, again, iJustine, beautiful woman. She's been around a long time. She does have this presence about her that is, again, wonderful to look at because she is very charismatic. She's very beautiful. But, I actually saw iJustine at Nintendo New York, and she was beautiful and wonderful. But, and this is a general critique about big content creators. Big content creators, right? Here's my big issue when it comes to this, and I wish iJustine could listen to me. is that I just wish that there was a connection between you and the product and myself, right? This is the big thing when it comes to content creation, connection, right? So you can tell me all that you feel about the product, but you can still fail to miss the mark because you haven't really sold me on what it is you're connecting with me and the product and you. And that's what I kind of have the big problem with iJustine in here. So when I saw her in Nintendo New York, she looked beautiful, she looked radiant, she looked amazing, skin is glowing, beautiful hair, doesn't age practically at all. I mean, I'm sure dermatologists would look for her beauty secrets. But my point being is that as beauty and wonderful she is, there's just one aspect that does kind of rattle me a bit, and this is me being objective and non-biased, is that, and this goes with the big content creators thing, is it just feels difficult to talk to this person. It feels like there's a big wall. And I know what some people are thinking, big content creators don't have to talk to you, and everyone should worship them, and blah, blah, blah. Well, if that's the case, then no one is, so then what you're saying is no one is free to criticism. And what's even funnier is the other day, I actually had someone try to hit me with a copyright. You probably could imagine who that is. But the point is that when people try to give criticism, and when it's fair and objective because about something that happened, it's not meant to be a scathing attack at you. It's meant to talk to you, and it's let you know this is what's going on. This is my personal opinion. Hey, hear me out. Now we get it. The internet is full of trolls. The internet is full of awful people. You're always gonna see people that are mean and nasty and judgmental. But at the end of the day, when it comes to iJustine as a content creator, I just think she has a lot to offer. And if that was I have to be honest, if that was the clip I watched, I don't think I would trust her to tell me what she thinks about the Switch if it was just that. And trust me, I've seen her content. Her content is great. Like, she dances, she's full of life. It's a bit of a mirror. It is what you see, what you get, which is useful in advertising. It's a useful technique, but it's just it doesn't give me enough. It's like if I was going to a restaurant and I was trying to sample their food and I barely licked the ice cream and I was like, I didn't have enough to really determine that flavor. And I just feel like, well, I want more, but I can't afford it. So what do? Ask someone else to buy it for you? Can't do that. You wait till the product goes down in price? Maybe. So then you just feel like you're missing out. And then you're just like, well, what am I supposed to do? I can't try this. I can't do this. This doesn't connect for me. And here's the big thing about content creators that I think is wonderful. Content creation is supposed to be bridging the gap, right? This is the big thing that I just think with iJustine. She is trying to bridge the gap between the product, and the consumer, right? She is putting on a great face. She looks beautiful. She's smiling. She's glowing. Fantastic. I agree with that. But even though she's doing that, she's not telling me enough about the product. Now, could this get views for her own video? Probably. And it probably will blow up and it'll do well, and my criticism could be thrown out of the water. But what is my real point being here? My point being here is that if you're a hardcore tech fan, this might not be the person you want to seek giving you the advice, is my point. And iJustine, as wonderful as she is, she gives very personal experience with the tech. And that can be a good or bad thing, depending on the scenario. But that being said, if you want someone who's a bit deeper in focus, she might not be your cup of tea. And I think that's a fair thing to say. That's not an attack. That's not going after her. That's just giving a fair, objective opinion. But we live on the internet where even doing that is an attack. And that's a problem. And we need to change that. We need to change what people understand about criticism. Because some people will just say things thinking that something is criticism when it's not. And some people will insult when they say it's criticism. And they get it all flipped up. And I'm just like, but that's not what it is. So, anyway, back to my whole thing. So let's go back to the one last thing. So there was one thing that I wanted to show and play a brief blip, just a brief blip of what Craig had to say. And I think what Craig has to say is great. Because he's trying to be fair and objective and just giving it a way that's like, look, I don't mean to attack you, but this is just how it comes across to me. And so here we go. So apparently it's been making rounds.
Dina's.
Let's go to the
I
beginning.
saw this yesterday and I thought, wow. Do you remember iJustine?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you remember? Okay. So she's apparently still a thing. She's, look, for all I think I've talked to her once. She's fairly nice, I guess. She has 1.8 million followers over on X. She's been around. She's been in the game for a long time, right? She was one of the first YouTube tech people. Blabs, do you have any idea who iJustine is?
No, I honestly thought it was going to be like some Jenna Marbles ripoff, so never mind.
No. She's been around for a long time. So her YouTube channel, 7 million.
I'm iJustine,
Whoa,
and my
sorry. 7 million subscribers right over here.
Good for her.
Yeah, but she's been doing this forever, okay? Just for total reference here. Joined May 7th, 2006, okay? She's been around for a long time. She was invited to the Nintendo thing, and that's going on right now. And I saw this video, and I just had to talk about this. Here's the video. Uh-oh.
I cannot wait. Check it out. I just got a chance to play the new Mario Kart World, and it was so much fun. But take a closer look at the Nintendo Switch 2 with the display on. Huge screen.
That is insane. There is a screen on the Switch too, and it turns on. Oh my fucking god! Absolute cinema.
That's right. Here we go.
Oh, it's beautiful. I cannot wait for June 5th.
I really like the chain on the Nintendo so it can't get stolen.
Oh yeah, that's the power supply as well. Yeah. Pretty standard at events. But I saw this and I was like, huh. That in 23 seconds perfectly embodies both Access Media and toxic positivity.
Okay.
Like, look at this screen. It's the best. It's so
also,
good.
She says the new Mario Kart World. There hasn't ever been a Mario Kart World. This is the one and only Mario Kart World. It's not she said the new Mario Kart game, Mario Kart World.
Right. Like, look,
I get their critiques.
Everybody at that event right now, and this is like, there's some level of FOMO that some people have.
I hear that, man.
Like,
I hear that,
I
Greg.
wish I could be at this event playing these games. You have to toe the line to go to these events.
Yeah, I know. I get that.
Say the things they want you to say. Otherwise, guess what? You're not invited.
I get what you're saying.
Have access to these
Sad
events.
but true.
And when you see people at these events, that's what they're delivering. They're delivering the company line, the company bullet points.
Right.
Look at this screen. I can't wait for June 5th.
Yeah.
With the implication of I can't wait and you shouldn't either. It's so exciting to be playing this new thing. Check out this Mario Kart. It's so good. You might as well be paid for this. And for all, I doubt.
Again, I don't think Craig. Again, if you ask my personal opinion, so we're gonna go back to. So I'm gonna just finish my points. I don't think Craig attacked her in any way. Right? Some people would look at this and be like, "Well, Craig's just jealous. Craig fell off. Blah 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 blah." I'm like, I can understand that people don't think that Craig is giving criticism and they think that Craig's just attacking iJustine because iJustine is very famous, she's beautiful, she's popular, all these wonderful things. Great for her. But at the end of the day, what is the point of what Craig is saying to iJustine? The point that he's making is that basically, I have this product, I'm beautiful, so buy it like me. That's what he's saying. And to be upfront, like, if I saw someone like that, I'd just be like, really? This would be like if I was trying to advertise vegetarianism and I came up with my own, like, ego upside my own self that basically everyone's like, no. So, but if someone, like, say, saw me as a fast runner and they admired certain traits that I had and they were like, wow, how do you do that? What's your technique? And maybe they can't, like, emulate you exactly. But even though they can't emulate you exactly, it's not an attack on them. It's more like they admire you for your strengths and they're trying to understand where you're coming from to better understand like how they can make themselves better. So if you're asking me, if iJustine probably did this in a better way of just being like, you know, I really grew up playing Mario Kart and this is my favorite character. I'm so glad to have this course. If she gave something like that, it would sell me a lot more on the console. And it would actually sell me a lot more on iJustine as well. And I'm saying that because, not because I'm an iJustine fan, not because I'm a Craig fan, but because I'm someone who neither of these fans or fandoms is giving criticism that is needed. And look, we live in divisive times. We live in a divisive world. We live in a world where if you have this opinion, you're wrong, and you have this, and you're wrong. But isn't the point about an opinion also about the facts? Is also about how we present things? Is also about how things are read? Is also about really giving the time and matter. And trust me, I wish that some people would give me the time, but they don't. And I have to understand that. It's like everything in life. So the bottom line is that I just think Craig is giving fair, objective criticism. He might be taking her down a slight step, but it's not like he's attacking her or saying that she doesn't deserve to be there. He's just saying you have to toe the line. You have to be a certain way to be at these events. And that's sad. I don't want people that are just telling me to buy a product. I have to look like you. Because if that's the case, then I don't want to buy that product. That's going to scare me. This is like having a political campaign and having a bunch of celebrity cameos and be like, well, vote for this person because I'm famous and you like me. Oh, that's the case? That's why I have to do that? Yeah, that's not the reason why I do this. I do this because I stand on the issues. I don't do this just because you're bandwagoning me to do that. Like, that's the problem with our country, with our world. It's like everyone is so image-driven and image-obsessed that we don't really want to see people for who they are. And see, the problem is that's when you get misinterpretations. That's when you get misunderstandings. That's when you get problems when people don't want to talk to each other. And, you know, can the road to hell be paved with good intentions? Absolutely. Again, could you make a remark saying that Craig might not have been the nicest person? Well, Craig might not have said the nicest things if you're trying to play that card. But Craig is also not insulting her. He's critiquing her and telling that this is the reason that he has the problem with. And that's not about jealousy or spite. That's about being a growth aspect about content creation or a job. It's like if I walk into class and I get all my questions wrong, right? Is the teacher attacking me because I got the questions wrong? No, the teacher is telling me the feedback about what needs to be fixed. And if they didn't, then they wouldn't be doing their job, right? So Craig is kind of being like a teacher to iJustine, even if iJustine is way higher on the pedestal. And personally, I just get tired of these pedestals aspects to life. Like, when can we share the pedestals with each other? When can we actually, like, have a world? Like, do we have to get to the point where Adele is winning an award and she has to rip up her award for Beyonce, so the pedestals have to be that big to be shared? I just think that's ridiculous. I mean, again, I get it. We live in a world where, you know, there's a winner and a loser. I don't want participation awards, but I also don't want people to just feel like if they're born into wealth or their happenstance into success, that the world is just given to them because of just one artificial trait. And I just think that iJustine is a great content creator. I do think she's beautiful. But just because I think she's beautiful and great doesn't mean that that clip makes me want to buy that system. And that's all I do think that needs to be said. And, you know, if I ran into iJustine, I just want to have a normal conversation. I don't need to be best friends with her. I don't need to be gabbing every night. Look, I don't need to be best friends with everybody. But I just want to know, right? If there's a big content creator and they're really this big about this product, this brand, then if I can't have a conversation with you, then maybe that's a problem with being a content creator. Is that I can't, and look, I can't have a conversation with them. If you're really going to play like doubling down and catch-22s, it's like, look, I understand that the world is big. I understand we're in positions where people don't want to waste their time doing this when they have to do this. But at the end of the day, it's like if your job as a content creator is to advertise a product and you're making a personal appearance and you're not really like photogenic the way a politician is and talk to people, I just think that's a bit sad. And I just think that we should be able to let our walls down without having to have our guard up all the time. And I understand that it's difficult and it's hard, but if we can't really be who we are, then we're just statues. We're just worshippers of tech without having the connection. And I just want to end it with one quote that I came up with, or I think I came up with, but I don't know if I heard it somewhere. But it basically goes along like this. Humans will never be able to have the same connections with technology that humans have with other humans. And what that means is that the devices that we use have a certain reciprocal interaction with us that are not the same level of connection that we have between one person and another. And that is what connects us. Technology does not connect us, right? Technology only connects us in an artificial way. But the way that we connect with technology is how we share our experiences with that. And if iJustine wants to be a better content creator, then she needs to share her experiences better and stronger than that reel. Than saying, this console's out, big screen, this game, June 5th. Okay. That might work for a short at best, but if she's doing a regular video, I want to hear more. And you want to know what? I just wish I could collab with people and work with people like that. Because I wish I could, compare and contrast them. Kind of give them a little bit of a challenge. Not necessarily be argumentative, but just to basically put them in a hot seat of just being like, hey, let's have fun with this. And that's kind of that collaborative, cooperative, kind of competitive line of like knowing how to play the game, knowing how to really talk. So I've left what I had to say. So I totally am fine with what Craig had to say. I don't think he was being mean. I don't think he was being snarky or nasty. I just think that he was trying to give feedback. And while some people might not agree with Craig because iJustine is extremely popular and beautiful, just because someone is extremely popular and beautiful doesn't mean that they're free of criticism. And like that person that tried to hit me with a copyright is also not free of criticism. And while we have to toe the line of what we say, just because of what we say doesn't mean it doesn't have weight or value. Doesn't mean it doesn't have important things to be listened to be heard when we're trying to be objective. We're trying to show the facts. We're trying to say, this is point A and point C. You can't do point A without doing point C. And if we're going to play that, gray line, legalese, wishy-washy kind of thing, then it needs to be stated. It can't be understated. It needs to be stated. This isn't an unwritten rule. So anyway, I've gone on long enough. I know I've made my points. Probably sure that people have heard what I've had to say. It's not groundbreaking. It's not the most amazing thing, but it's just things that need to be said. But anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with iJustine? Do you agree with Craig? Just let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!